this year. And VMware vSAN came in this year as one of those presenting sponsors. So I want to introduce Ken to everybody and give him a couple minutes to kind of talk about their product, and at the end we'll congratulate and thank them for their support. So go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, it's actually just a real pleasure to be able to offer that sponsorship to the community. I think that this is such a phenomenal event where we get that opportunity to mix and mingle and talk with other peers. And I think particularly, I am going to plummet off of this podium here, I guarantee it. It's fantastic for us to have that opportunity, particularly the products like vSAN coming along. We don't often get that opportunity to talk to customers. These are new and emerging technologies, so having experts within the industry being able to do this sort of communication with each other is just a fantastic opportunity. So thank you for that. So I am Ken Werneberg. I manage the technical marketing group for our storage and availability business unit. And really, we have these few chances to be able to get other people within the industry to take that time to work with each other. vSAN is in a state that reminds me of vSphere probably 12 years ago when I joined VMware. At the time, it was taking off. vSphere was, well, it didn't exist at the time. ESX was doing really well, and GSX was starting to sunset. But the growth of those platforms at that time had nothing really to do with corporate directions. It's not like we sat there and took CIOs out for timeshares and gave them cigars and things like that. It was the community that was using ESXi that said, this product set is fantastic, we need to do more of this. And it was really a groundswell sort of an approach to get those technologies going. vSAN's in the same spot today. We've got 15,000 customers, and that's fantastic. It's a huge growth that we're experiencing, but it's still a very young product set. This is something that's 5 years old. We've only had a very few real iterations on this. It's version 6.7 today, but it's not something that has been around for 30 years like the rest of the storage industry has. So it's really the community at this point that is driving the charge of that product set. And 15,000 may sound like a lot, but even if every one of those customers was here at VMworld, there's still 10,000 people that have never seen it before in their lives. But we have people like AJ, who was on the first panel up there. He's running vSAN. He lives it day and night. So it's a very important opportunity to be able to talk to people that have those experiences. So back to the point, I appreciate the ability to offer the sponsorship for this event because we get those opportunities to talk with people. And I think it's even more important, one of the comments that was made in the last panel session here was that we see a change in roles, that people's roles are shifting in IT, particularly in the cloud space. We're breaking down the silos between the different technology stacks. And I would say that that's the same on-premises in your own data center or in a cloud model or anything. Cloud is really more of an operational thing. It's a model of doing IT. And when we start looking at things like hyperconvergence, we're pulling in network, compute, and storage. So my point is that the traditional vSphere administrator in the future is not going to be a vSphere administrator. He's going to be an SDDC administrator. We're not going to have a network admin and what she knows is the network stack. She's going to have to know everything about all these technologies because this new cloud operational model requires a different skill set than it required when we were managing things just in a traditional legacy sort of a fashion. With hyperconvergence, that blurring is even more, it's a stronger blurring, if that makes any sense, because those roles are no longer fundamentally separate. We're talking about a single stack of technology that anybody who's interacting with it needs to be able to manage. So these opportunities like OpenAX, like VM Underground, these opportunities to communicate with other people who have these skill sets, to be able to push yourself a little bit beyond your comfort zone is very, very important because in the future, that's what we're all going to be doing. We're not going to be vSphere administrators. We're not going to be storage administrators. We're going to be cloud operators. And I think that's a very important skill set to be able to get from the people at these events. So once more, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate the chance to help out this sort of very important community event, and I appreciate it. Take care.